Niger Army convoy crosses into Nigeria, border panic and urgent security alert. It was a quiet Saturday afternoon in Mazanya Village, located in Jibia local government area of Katsina state. For the residents, it was like any other day. Children played outside, traders attended to their shops, and people went about their daily routines. But without warning, the calmness of the community was shattered by the sudden sound of gunfire. The shots were loud, sharp, and close. At first, many believed it was the usual bandit attack that had become too common across border communities. But within moments, it became clear that this was something entirely different. According to security sources who spoke with Zagazola Makama, the gunfire was coming from an unexpected source, a military convoy from the Niger Republic. At exactly 2 p.m., the convoy, made up of 4 heavily armed gun trucks and a Toyota Jeep, crossed the international border and entered Mazanya Village without authorization. The troops were led by Captain Salifu Mono, and eyewitnesses reported that they fired sporadically as they advanced into the village. This act created instant panic. Women hurriedly grabbed their children and ran into their homes. Traders quickly locked their shops. Motorcyclists abandoned their bikes and fled for safety. The atmosphere was filled with confusion, fear, and uncertainty. To many villagers, it seemed like the beginning of a larger crisis. The sight of foreign soldiers, fully armed, firing shots, and moving deeper into Nigeria was alarming and unprecedented. Word of the intrusion spread quickly, and within minutes, Nigerian security forces reacted. A joint team comprising the troops of Operation Fansan Yanma, the Nigeria Police Force, the Department of State Services, and members of the Civilian Joint Task Force swiftly mobilized and tracked the movement of the Nigerian soldiers. The Nigerian forces acted professionally and cautiously. Rather than escalating the situation or confronting the foreign troops in a way that could trigger a dangerous international clash, they surrounded the convoy and escorted them back toward the Danmasani border point. When questioned, the Nigerian commander, Captain Salifu Mono, apologized for the unauthorized entry into Nigeria. He explained that the incursion was not intentional and assured Nigerian authorities that such an incident would not occur again. However, despite the apology, security analyst Zagazola Makama believes the incident exposes serious weaknesses in the Nigeria-Niger border corridor. He described the illegal entry as a warning sign that the region's security dynamics are becoming increasingly fragile. Across the Sahel, extremist groups such as ISGS, JNIM, Al-Qaeda-affiliated networks, Boko Haram, and ISWAP are expanding their influence. These groups exploit ungoverned spaces, porous borders, and weak coordination between neighboring countries. The Nigeria-Niger border, long, rugged, and sparsely patrolled, has become a major transit route for insurgents, arms smugglers, and criminal networks. Despite facing common threats, Nigeria and Niger conduct separate and often uncoordinated operations. Nigeria continues to battle insurgents and bandits through Operation Farautar Bauchia and Operation Fansan Yanma. Meanwhile, Niger is locked in combat with ISGS, JNIM, and other extremist cells operating across its territory. The problem, according to Zagazola, is not the absence of effort, but the absence of synchronization. Without shared intelligence, harmonized patrols, and coordinated strategies, both countries are vulnerable to misunderstandings, accidental confrontations, and operational failures. The Mazanya incident is a clear example. A military convoy crossing an international border without clearance and firing shots upon entry could have easily turned into a diplomatic crisis or even a military confrontation if not handled carefully. It also raises troubling questions. Why did the Nigerian troops cross the border? Were they pursuing insurgents? Was it a navigational error or a sign of deeper communication gaps? While the Nigerian commander apologized, the underlying structural issues remain unaddressed. Zagazola emphasizes the urgent need for a new approach. He argues that Nigeria and Niger must work closer than ever before. The threats facing both nations do not recognize borders. Extremist groups move across territories at will, taking advantage of any space left unprotected or uncoordinated. To prevent future incidents and strengthen regional stability, he recommends several urgent measures. First, both nations must establish clear protocols for cross-border operations, particularly in cases of hot pursuit, where troops may cross boundaries in chase of insurgents. Second, joint patrols along the shared border should be intensified. These patrols would help detect suspicious activities early and reduce the risk of accidental military confrontations. Third, both countries must invest in real-time intelligence sharing. This includes drone surveillance, human intelligence, and rapid communication channels between military headquarters on both sides. Timely information can prevent confusion and allow both armies to act in harmony rather than in isolation. Finally, Zagazola warns that without coordinated efforts, insurgent groups will continue to exploit weaknesses along the border. They thrive in areas where governments operate independently and where gaps in communication create opportunities for infiltration. With Nigeria and Niger facing similar threats, from banditry and kidnapping to extremist infiltration, cooperation is no longer optional. It is essential. The Mazanya incident should be viewed not just as a mistake by foreign troops, but as a reminder that the region's security challenges require joint solutions. The illegal entry of Nigerian soldiers into Nigeria may not have led to bloodshed, thanks to the restraint of Nigerian security forces. But the event underscores how easily border tensions can escalate if proper mechanisms are not in place. For both nations, this should be a wake-up call, a call to strengthen diplomacy, a call to build trust, and a call to synchronize their security strategies before insurgent networks grow even stronger. If Nigeria and Niger fail to act together, the consequences could be far greater than a mistaken convoy crossing a border village. But if they coordinate, share intelligence, and build a united front, they can protect their people, stabilize the region, and prevent incidents like this from ever happening again.